he came to Ukraine and he makes it work. This is Mark, a brave American man who made it here. But there is a story behind this. Mark, how about sharing your story?
Okay. All right. So my name is Mark. Hello. I'm originally from America. Both my parents are from Poland. So I was close by helping my mother, actually. She returned to Poland after she retired in America. And I was helping her work on her house. And I was online dating, and I came across a profile in Ukraine, and I decided to communicate with someone. And it didn't work out as I expected, because as I made plans with this person after 3 months of communicating online, when I arrived in Ukraine, it turned out that it was a scam. And it was not what I was expecting.
Can I tell the scam frame? Because it's a very well-known scam. To put it in a nutshell, the girl was asking a man, okay, I can come and meet you, right? Mm-hmm. And then she arrived to the border and she says, oh, I can't leave Ukraine, I need a bribe.
Right.
How much did you pay?
I don't remember, a few hundred to help.
But she never made it. So she didn't make it through the border. It was a scam
she had
to begin.
Go back.
So the hero says, I'm gonna go to myself.
Yeah, I wanted to know if it was real or not. So then I said, I'll come to Ukraine.
And he arrives to the city, to Kyiv. She was from Kyiv.
Right.
And she says, my dad got sick.
She said that her father would not allow us to be together.
Or something like that.
Something like this, yeah.
So I've heard...
This is a 29-year-old woman. I'm thinking, this is crazy. In America, there's no way a 29-year-old woman would say this. But...
Yeah. And there is no way a 29 woman in Ukraine would say this either. So it was a scam. And I hear this scam in different variations from the girls saying, oh, yeah, I'm going to meet you here. And the guy is waiting like Hachiko and she never comes. Or, oh, my grandmother died and she never comes.
Right.
Or actually she writes some nonsense. And you can just, is it her writing? But it was not a paper letter website. It was a website. We're not going to advertise that website, by the way. But it was a website where you write on your own, right? So have you ever seen her on a video?
Yes, we communicated on a video as well.
So she was for real, but she was a scam.
Person.
Yes. Then what happened?
So then I said, well, I'm here. I came here to find a love, someone to spend life with. And so I think I'm here. Why not try something else?
Right.
And so I knew that there was matchmakers in Ukraine, and I've heard about this service before. So I was looking on Google Maps, and in the area where I was staying, by the way, I attempted for more than a week to try to meet this woman. So it's not like I just gave up, I tried. But after more than a week of not being able to meet with this person, I said, okay, I'm not going to give up. I'm going to go enlist the help of someone who knows what they're doing, because I'm tired of trying to do this alone and falling victim to scam after scam or whatever, So...
But you should have tried some dating apps, some phone apps that introduce. Again, we're not going to advertise them. They are our, let's say, not friends, because a lot of everything going on there, and I'm not part of it. Right? We are here in the office. We're making this video for you, just to see that just coming to Ukraine and calling, hello, Natali, you won't get me in the office. Yesterday, I had a call from guys, we are here, we are under your doors. Like, good luck.
Yeah, it was not a good idea for me to just jump into this without coordinating ahead of time.
And it says on the sign next to my door, say,
by appointment only.
By appointment. Listen, didn't you read? And it says on all the resources, and I am the only office of a matchmaker that is legitimately open in Ukraine.
Right. Yeah, I walked around the city and researched and tried to see what was out there, and Natalie's correct. She is the only one who's actually physically open. There were offices and buildings I've seen on Google Maps, but good luck trying to get in those buildings and if there's anyone actually there anymore.
My colleagues are working, and some of them are members of Ukrainian Matchmakers Alliance that we support, that we are still a big community, but they are working from abroad and they are still matching people. And when you called me, it's like, oh my God, I am in trouble. What do I do with this man? Since COVID, we are preparing everything online so that when you arrive, we are set. For women that know you, for people that you are aware of, and you're becoming and building the right connection. You just see each other in person and see how it works. But when you were in Kyiv, I was like seriously puzzled because right here on Hospitalna 2, we are around 5 big hotels. And I didn't have to advertise. Men were just coming through my door and we were matching. This is a good guy. This is not a good guy. This is like he doesn't know what he wants guy, and so on. But right now we interview everybody online, and this is why we are now working on some of the procedures where we can actually help men that are in Kyiv, because I saw some gentlemen that are here in Kyiv looking for a relationship, but we don't have them. We need them, and women want to date, so we are preparing for this. So now here's another part of the story for Mark. Shall we tell everybody?
Sure, of course.
Well, Mark has been a very active person, and he kindly and friendly agreed to volunteer to the Kyiv Lions Club that I'm a member of, and he has already helped us with loads of humanitarian aid that is coming through our door, and we distribute it all over Ukraine. And today we just literally came from the office of the Lions Club president, Pierre, and we loaded everything to the postal service truck. It were 2 pallets of banana boxes full of clothing for children and other necessary and important items. And just before last Friday, Mark went to another big logistics office because he just happened to help with some medical store with some medical stuff, because we had boxes of some medical medicine and disposables arriving, and we needed help, and Mark, he is available. So he really helped, and just happened another truck arrived. So it was right into the fire of 12 pallets of humanitarian aid that just fell on our head.
Yeah, it was eye-opening for sure.
It will be better organized next time when the drivers tell us in advance, but I hope you will be somewhere else.
Well, it was fun to help, and even though it was chaos and craziness, it was a good time.
And we continue doing that, and whoever else wants to join our humanitarian projects, please talk to me and let me know, because you can donate money, you can send in-kind support, we support now animal shelters, we support schools, we support children with special learning needs, and medical community, of course. So welcome to join the club. But Mark is here with a purpose, and I want this video to be valuable for men who are thinking, maybe Ukrainian wife is for me. So, well, let's tell the story. Why on earth you thought a Ukrainian woman is for you? Who told you so?
For me, growing up in a Polish household, it was a very traditional kind of experience, watching my father and mother, and I always thought that I wanted an American wife, and I'm not going to necessarily marry someone from Europe. But now that I've been through the American dating experience and been around American women, I have nothing bad to say about American women. But there are certain goals and aspirations that American women have, and they're very dedicated to those goals, and it makes it difficult for someone who wants a traditional family or a traditional housewife to maybe find someone who's interested in that kind of role. And from what I've read and what I've heard other men speak about online and talk about their experiences, it seemed like women from Europe, especially Eastern Europe, Poland, Ukraine, wherever, they have more of that desire to be a mother and to be a housewife. And that's not to say that they don't have careers, because the women here are amazing. So especially what I'm realizing more and more now, when I first got here, I was in a totally incorrect scenario, which without the help of a matchmaker, I put myself into. But with the help of a matchmaker, I can confirm that there are women here that are very much looking for a man to step up and take the lead and be a provider, be the head of the household, that kind of thing. And they know their value. So if you're coming here and thinking, oh, I'm the man and I'm going to find any woman I want, that's not necessarily the case, because you also have to be a high value man and a good man. And so that was something that a matchmaker like Natali helped me to understand. What's right for me? What can I provide? What do the women want? And am I the right fit for a certain woman? So it's been eye-opening in more ways than one.
Well, I would say that Mark's experience is unique of a kind, because Mark never dated a Ukrainian woman before, right? And he came like, tell me more. So what did you get from me? Besides communication to some really valuable people. But first of all, you mentioned Ukrainian women, that they are different. What have you noticed? What can you mark that they are outstanding to you with?
They're very beautiful, first off. There's many beautiful women in Ukraine. And just walking around on the street here, you'll notice that the male to female ratio is much different than in America. In America, if you're walking on the street and you see a very beautiful woman, usually she's not alone.
She's Ukrainian.
And here in Ukraine, not only is there one beautiful woman after another on the street, it's very obvious that those women are single, and they have somewhere to be, and they have a life of their own, of course, but they're also interested in men. And so they're approachable. And that's really awesome. For me as a man in America, half the time, if you even try to speak with a woman on the street, she's not interested, or she's too busy, or she's already in a relationship. And here, there's many single women who are looking for a relationship.
Correct. But those single women who consider a foreigner for a possible life partner come to a matchmaker. Mm-hmm. Those who want to scam you, they will go on some sites and will scam you. And those who are not available, they are not available. Mm-hmm. And, thinking that, they are approachable and you can learn a lot. So by communicating to Ukrainian women, you can see what we are like. But you've certainly learned something about the good Ukrainian woman. So what is a good Ukrainian woman like?
In my experience, she's very patient and loving, and she puts you and your desires and your feelings first. And she's, in my experience, you can tell right away that she cares about you and what you want, and it's not just all about what she wants. And for me, that was the big difference that I noticed immediately about high quality women, is that they have that nurturing instinct and that desire to make her partner happy.
Well, they say, oh, they are all scammers and they all want money and they will take you shopping and you will need to spend a fortune on a Ukrainian woman. Is this your experience?
I don't think so. I mean, there's definitely women who desire a very high level of active lifestyle, and they can't sit still, and they want to spend money, and they want to go places. Sure, there are women like that, but there are also women that are happy with a normal life, that don't have to go to the fanciest restaurant every day or every week, And so, yeah, I think that that's something I've noticed, is that many Ukrainian women are down to earth and they're just looking for a partner to share life with.
Yes, and and it's obvious, right? When she is also participating, right? Well, I don't want to touch on private territory, so that's why we're trying to avoid disclosing Mark's situation and details. When we get everything, up and ready, we will definitely celebrate all. But now we are trying to keep a little bit private about who how his matchmaking process is going, because this is a confidential thing, and I don't want to disclose anything until it's done, right? So, but overall, now you're here and you've survived some really sleepless nights. How was it?
Well, it's no joke. There's definitely risk, and for me, I was willing to take that risk, and I felt that I have an opportunity at this time, and I understand that there's risk, and I want to take the opportunity to come and try to find someone. So I'm willing to go through the risk. But yes, there are definitely explosions at night and things happening right now that, for me, I feel very strongly for the Ukrainian people. So pray for peace and pray for Ukraine.
And you stand for Ukraine and with Ukraine, because you're here with us, you're helping us, volunteering and joining our humanitarian initiatives. And thank you very much for that. The overall advice, what would you like to give? What kind of advice would you like to give to a guy who's thinking, well, first of all, is it worth coming to Kyiv, honestly? Or is it better to meet somewhere in Poland with a girl? Or because there are many of women that are in Europe.
Yeah, I think that's on a case-by-case basis. It depends who you connect with. I would definitely recommend connecting with someone online, but do it through a professional agency, because
Thank you.
that is your protection, I think. And so to have someone who's screening the women to make sure that they are actually looking for the right things, the same things that you are, that's very important. So I would recommend starting online, but starting with a professional, and then giving that some time so you do have more time to get to know someone. And then when you are both ready, then go to whatever city that she's in and meet her there, wherever she is. I think the man should do that.
Wow, that's cool. Because man is the man. Well, of course, if you have some, because Mark has some military experience in his backpack, quite strong. Well, yeah, how many years did you serve in the army?
13 school.
Yeah, so definitely he's not afraid of explosions. He was launching those missiles. He knows what's cooking.
Hopefully they weren't exploding so close to me, but
yeah, but nevertheless, yes, kidding aside, we. Prepare well, work with professional, connect with a woman in advance, and then meet her wherever she is, even in Ukraine.
She's in Ukraine or Warsaw or Poland or Vienna, wherever she is, she is.
As a
I
Ukrainian,
would say do it, take the risk.
As a Ukrainian, I would suggest taking her out of Ukraine because. You will have peace in your mind, and you will give her this piece of silence and make her air raid free for a week or two. And then it will be a relief, because we need to reboot ourselves. So this is a better idea. But if you have not decided, if you're still making friends, if you're communicating to, say, women, and you want to have a little bit more of like getting to know the people, then definitely coming to Kyiv is an option. It's a risky option, but you can make it.
Yeah.
Right? And what else would you suggest to guys? Any other ideas? What to bring? Money, cash, like now in the middle of the war. Do you use your credit cards? How free is the society? Is there food available?
Sure.
Restaurants are open.
Restaurants are open. I use my phone. My smartphone can touch just like everywhere else in the world and make a payment, but that is in the city. So depending on where you're going in Ukraine, when I came across by bus, and it was a very strict, okay, you have 10 minutes to get in, get out at these bus stops. And so you don't have a lot of time. And if you don't have cash, for Americans especially, you have to understand that bathrooms are not available as easily as it is in America. You have to pay for restrooms. So you should probably go to what's called a kantor in Poland, or here, what's the word for exchange?
Currency exchange? Обмін валют.
Okay. You have to find these people, change your money for the local currency and have some cash on you, because don't rely on the credit cards or the debit cards working if you're in a small village. You know?
If you are taking a bus to Ukraine, but if you're taking a train,
you might end up right in the middle of the city where you have no problem.
Yes. And we pick you up here and we take care of you. We will make you volunteer. Right. We will give you our humanitarian projects, and we will find you a wife. And overall, if there were no explosions, would you say there is a war going on?
No, if there were no explosions here, I would stay. I wouldn't go back. It's awesome here. But all jokes aside, there are moments here in Ukraine that are more peaceful and more fun and more exciting than where I live in my town. So Kyiv is a great city, and there's lots going on in many, I'm sure, Ukrainian towns and cities. So the war is an inconvenience for many people, and it's something that is annoying for people more than anything, because people want to live their lives and be happy and healthy and spend time with family, and this is a disruption. I will say that the American media and other media is making this huge story out of it. And what they don't focus on is how people are just living their lives and overcoming and continuing to have normal lives despite the war. And I think that's something that impresses me.
Yes, it is correct, because we try to get rid of the outcomes of the fires and explosions as soon as possible. Of course, there are parts in Ukraine that you can't get rid of, because it's very close to the war zone. I was in Mykolaiv with a humanitarian mission, and it's tough.
There's going to be places that are irreparable forever, possibly.
I hope not, but Kharkiv, for example, I would not ask.
Don't do anything crazy, but definitely talk to someone before you just decide to go somewhere.
Right, but like restaurants. Do you like food in Ukraine?
Yeah, I'm Polish, and the cuisine is very similar. So we have borscht czerwony in Poland, and here we have borscht, right? Yes. So similar type soups, dumplings, meats. There's so many different types of foods, and in the city there's sushi, everything you would have in your city, there's a restaurant here too.
Exactly. So if there were no explosions, we would not suffer that much. And if by some reason you're watching this video and you can influence quitting the explosions in Ukraine, do that. World, stand with Ukraine. We need peace, because we have a very well educated society. We have hardworking people that know how to strive. We have good infrastructure, and we want peace. And this is why Ukrainian women are considering foreign men as an option, not necessarily. Some may say, come and live in Ukraine. Would you live in Ukraine?
Sure. Yeah,
why? Why would you live in Ukraine?
I think the cost of living here is great. You get a lot more for your buck in terms of U.S. currency. I feel like the quality of life is just as good as any other big city anywhere else in the world, but prices are affordable. And it just seems like a very peaceful place to be when you're going about normal daily life.
And this is Mark saying in the middle of the war in Ukraine. A peaceful place, right? Because I feel safe walking on the streets.
Yeah, in terms of crime and other things like that.
Just not there. Yeah. So, if you consider coming to do not consider coming to Ukraine. Talk to your matchmaker first and get a plan, right?
Yep.
And that's the best thing you can do to organize yourself and but date Ukrainian woman. Because when it comes to creating family, creating relationships that last and finding your true soulmate, this is the best community that you can consider. And now Ukrainian women are all over the world, not only in Ukraine, many of them are in Europe, so you can definitely reach out to me and I will help you. marriagebynatali.com. Easy to find. Come for an interview and see you soon. Thank you, Mark.
Thank you
for this interview.